All right, we got today's letter, man. Real people, real life situation. Kenya, what's good?
All right. Dear Sam, I hope this letter finds you well. I wanted to reach out to you regarding a concern I have about our son's interaction with his father. Given the circumstances of his father's incarceration, I understand that he has to adapt to his environment, which can sometimes involve behavior that isn't the best example for our son. While I believe it's important for our son to maintain communication and visits with his father, I'm finding it increasingly challenging to manage the influence it may have on him. I'm seeking your advice on how to handle this delicate situation in a way that ensures our son continues to have a relationship with his father, but also protects him from any negative impact. Your guidance would be greatly appreciated.
Sound like you concerned that because his daddy was in jail, like he won't be able to teach him or something, like, or he's gonna start doing what he. One of the reasons why he was in it. That's what it sounds like. It's like you're a little worried about that, huh?
Well, it seems that way. I mean, if the father is kind of stuck in this arrested development phase of when he was doing dirt and
Telling
glorifying,
the stories and all
yeah,
that type of stuff.
yeah. So I mean,
But I don't know if that's what he's doing. She can also just feel that way because he was locked up, and she could, some everybody who was locked up don't come out like bragging about it. Like, a lot of people telling you like, no, you don't need to go there.
yeah.
This is where I messed up at.
But it must be something that's causing a concern because she was saying that sometimes his behavior can be not be the best example for their son.
Oh, talking about him.
So she's trying to maintain these visits. She's trying to maintain, his communication with his
Yeah.
father, but if someone is outside of the situation and you are the one responsible for this child day in and day out, of course you would be, a little concerned about his
I'm just
influence.
curious, how long was he down? What he going in for? That'll help me out a little better. You feel me, Benny?
Right, right.
I'm with. So the questions that I have are, what is the father in for? But what are these behaviors that she's speaking to? Because I mean, he can't be acting out during the visitations. So it's like, is the father telling the son, "Yo, son, this is what I got to do to protect my manhood in here"? So, like,
Yeah.
what behaviors is she speaking to? Or she, if she's talking about the behaviors that got the father in there, as long as he's talking to the son and saying, "Hey, let me be an example of why you should not do
Right.
this," then he should definitely be around his father.
Because he's still in there, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So, she's trying to make sure that they keep communicating, but I could understand if you have a young man that you're raising that you would want to scrutinize.
How old is his son?
It was very vague. She didn't give a lot of details, so I don't know what his age is.
Well, yeah, I would say continue to monitor this, and then have a conversation when you go visit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And see where his head is.
Yeah.
This. You had a baby with him,
Yep.
so see, because when you've been incarcerated, right? Everybody, your mind, their mind have to get their mind there in order to cope with how much time they got.
For
Yeah.
sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's a whole mental. So you got to see where his head is.
Right.
Only you know more than any of us sitting here. And if it seems to be where he's, not the person that he was when he went in, for the worse
Right.
or for the better, you have to make that determination and have a real conversation with your son to say, hey, I want you to go see your father. I don't want to stop this. However, I've been noticing, be straightforward, your behavior is changing. And whatever reason that he's in there, I don't never want you to go in here. And you got to be on the same page with him. Whatever message during y'all conversation, make sure you let him know you don't want him here, where you are,
Yeah.
and only you know. It's kind of hard because we don't know.
Right.
The detail.
Yeah, we don't know. I don't know. Was he never stealing cars? I mean, was he never because he got some bodies? I don't know that.
Yeah, it's rough with kids because, they get to this age where they're always looking for the contradictions in their parents. They're looking for loopholes to where they can
Yeah.
justify the things that they want to do.
Correct.
So you have to be careful whether the parent is locked up or on the streets, you still have to be careful of those things that kids glorify and
he could be playing
all.
you.
Yes.
He could be definitely playing you, man.
This is one of those touchy subjects where I feel like as the custodial parent, it's your responsibility to have that conversation with the incarcerated
Yep.
Yeah.
parent and say, look, this is where our son currently is. These are the things that our son is saying. These are the things our son is doing. Whether that son looks up to his dad maybe or something like that. Hey, I need your help with this.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to be even regardless of your current situation, you have the opportunity to be a positive influence in your son's life.
For sure.
If you want to continue to be a part of your son's life, then you got to make the right decisions. If you
Right.
don't, you won't be a part of your son's life. But this is also should be a cautionary tale, because now whether he was doing stuff behind the mother's back, we have these situations where sometimes she may have very well known what he was doing before he went in there, and she still messed with him. But then once the baby came, she matured.
Right.
But you chose that mate up until the time the baby came, and now that mate is not good enough for you, which is good for the child. You matured.
Yeah.
But how about we be mature before we have the child and choose
You don't
better
know.
mates? But I'm saying we don't know why he's in there, but we know he wasn't in there when she had the baby, because they had the baby.
But you know, when you both grow up in toxic environments, you tend to be around the people that you feel comfortable with. But you know, you have a child, like you said, that can mature you. He can
Right.
still be in an arrested development, but that doesn't mean that you have to. You're forced to keep your child in a toxic mindset.
No. I didn't say that.
yeah.
I said she matured, and that's the good thing.
Yeah, it
Even if
is.
you have to keep the child away from the father.
Yeah.
I said we just need to do better on the beforehand of before we
I'm
have
just
the
saying, you don't
child
know.
of being more mature.
Yeah.
Of,
Sometimes you
of the
don't know you're
partner.
toxic until you
Especially
grow
when it's
past
two of
it.
them.
Well, I
Yeah.
got that,
Yeah.
but I'm saying you might have known he was in the street. I'm saying if you know he was in the street doing dirt.
You know what type of
saying.
guy. You know what
Yeah,
type of
that's
guy
what
that
I'm
you was
saying.
dealing with, which caused him to be there.
It's like that.
Is what he said.
The people that was on tour, and the young lady was talking about how they didn't want the nerd back in the day, but now the nerd don't want her when she got 3-4 kids, and she mad at the nerd. Like, you should give us a chance now. Like, no, I've been a good dude the whole time, and you didn't want me until you had 3 kids by the bad dude.
Yeah.
So that why would I want you now? So
And let's do this. Let's take some calls. If you are the mother of a child that the father is incarcerated or was, how did you parent with him being locked up? So let's take a break, 5780931, and then we'll come back with that.